Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started on our lesson end of block assessment for Block 2, and we will be writing a narrative. So once you sign in to PEG, we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, and once I have logged in, I click on the Swartz Grade 7 Language Arts, and it takes me to my writing history page, and as you can see, I have finished my Block 1 future story, and it's been scored. And there is one message. So please make sure that you look at your messages and your writing history when you log in. So we'll want to start the new prompt, the end of block assessment for Block 2. So you click on practice. This will be the only time you access the essay topic is when you initially get the topic. And the title of the topic for Block 2 is, let's see, where is it? It's Impossible. So we'll take a look at that, and the directions are pretty much the same. They mentioned talking about pre-writing and beginning to write, and your prompt topic is over to the right. So it says, Eleanor Roosevelt said, "You must do the thing you think you cannot do. Write a narrative, a story, about someone who had to do something that seemed impossible to do. The story may be fiction or nonfiction, but use narrative techniques such as you learned in Block 2, develop your setting, think about your plot, think about the theme, and think about your characters, and maybe just focus on one of those elements within your story. You don't necessarily have to put an all-out effort on each one of the elements, but maybe you would like to describe and weave the characters in with your settings. Please try to use one example of dialogue within your story and develop the experiences, events, and the characters of your story. So once you think about what you'd like to do, click on the pre-writing tab, and there are some recommended graphic organizers for you to use. You can look at several of them and decide what you'd like to use. So I looked at some of the organizers and really wanted to start my story, but I ran across this 5 elements of a story organizer, which I kind of liked. I can fill in more details in areas that I feel comfortable with describing more, such as the setting, the beautiful Thailand resort hotel. So just for an example, I'm just going to go ahead, remember save and quit will allow you to save your work, even though it saves every 60 seconds. But once you log back in, you go to your writing history and click on the date that is located to the left of the prompt title, and that will take you right back to where you left off. So I'm going to go ahead and click Next and move on then to the actual writing. I'm going to go ahead and pause this so that I can add my writing. Okay, so I'm back, and you can see I had used another document to type this, but you need to hit return or enter twice in order to recognize the paragraph breaks. So you want to make sure that you take some time and make sure that the visual appearance of your essay looks good as well. Okay, so once you read over your work, again, your work does not need to be this long. The narrative does not need to be this long. I got a little bit carried away over the topic. I did go ahead and insert one area of dialogue. Lucas was crying out, "Mama, Mama." Remember, the quotes go around the dialogue. So please try to use some dialogue within your narrative. You can see that it's written in the first person point of view. And then when you're ready to submit this, you can again save and quit and come back to it later. You will be prompted to ask if you're sure that you want to submit it. And from there, your essay will be scored, and you may revise the essay by clicking on the Revise tab, kind of a button over here located to the right of your essay. After you mouse over some of the recommendations and revise it as many times as you would like. My score is at 28. That's pretty good out of 30. Lucked out, I guess. But I do like to write narratives. And also, please take note of the writing analysis where you are prompted to look at lessons in areas that may need some improvement. So take some time before you make your revisions to look at some of those lessons. They are anywhere from 5 to 8 minutes. And if you have any messages, make sure that you message or comment to your teacher. And once you have completed your essay, note your score, go back to your Brightspace course in Block 2, Week 3, and report your score.